Have you ever made a mistake? I'm going to go ahead and answer that for you. Yes, you have. So have I. Everybody's made mistakes. It's a part of life. It happened. The question is, what did you learn from them? So my first thought for this video was to share with you the list of mistakes that we made that got us into all this debt. Then I realized, y'all don't care about that. Y'all don't want to hear that. I probably don't have your attention long enough to get through the full list. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to share with you some of the things that we learned along the way that we began to practice to help us to avoid a lot of the mistakes that we got caught up in when we were trying to build this real estate empire. So one of the first things that we realized that we didn't really do or know how to do when it came to investing in real estate was counting up the cost. Like, what is it really going to cost us? It's more than just the payment, right? We sat down with lenders. We got approved. They told us, look, you can afford this. Basically, we let them count the cost up for us. But they didn't live in our house. They didn't know all the other obligations that we had. They only knew what was reported by the credit bureaus because that's what they based their decision upon, whether or not that they were going to lend us money. Now, I do realize some of you watching this video are like, look, I don't care anything about real estate right now. That's not what I'm into. I'm just trying to finish school, or I'm just trying to buy a car. So how does this apply to me? Here's how it applies to you. When I say count up the cost means count up the cost that it's going to take for you to finish whatever you started. So of course I'm talking about money, but your coins are not the only thing that you need to count to make sure you have enough to finish. You need to make sure you have enough time. You need to make sure you have the right tools, and most importantly, the right teacher. Your ambitions may be awesome, your goals may be great, but do you have the right means to meet whatever goal you're trying to accomplish? I'm going to take a moment right here just to plug in myself and cultivating means. Cultivating means is an idea that I came up with a few months ago. Cultivating means. Means is an acronym for mindset, environment, actions, net worth, and skill. I believe that you need all these things to accomplish any goal that you have. So now, back to counting up the costs. Again, not just about money, your time, the tools, and the teachers that you need in place to help you reach those goals. So one of the things that we learned along the journey that we didn't know how to do is that, well, count up the costs, of course, talked about that, but then the time. We invested money into things that we thought we had time to use. We thought that we had that were going to be good tools to help teach us the things that we needed to know about real estate. But one thing that we didn't do is that we didn't really fully understand what we were invested into. Like what these tools that we were buying the tools, but we were just given tools, but not taught how to use them. Didn't have the right teachers to show us, how to use these tools to build what we wanted to build. It's like we got the information, but we didn't know how to apply it. We didn't have the wisdom that went along with using it. And so that's where the teachers came along, where we not only did we find teachers and search out for teachers that were doing what we wanted to do and that were successful in it, but also willing to share the knowledge that they picked up along the way that led them to the success that they had. And guess what? It came at a cost, right? So what we had to learn is that we needed to invest more into learning a skill, learning how to be real estate investors than just going out there and doing it. We don't want to pay people for their value and their information and their wisdom and their knowledge. It's value. They paid a significant cost for it, but we just want them to give it to us. It doesn't work like that. Shouldn't work like that. We shouldn't expect it to work like that. We can go out there and pay for everything else that we want, but knowledge, somehow we feel like people owe that to us. And in some cases, like what I'm doing here, I feel like that, the information and the stuff that I'm sharing is valuable. But there are some things that I am willing to share with others just because I know that this is something that I'm called to do. But again, we have to be willing to invest in ourselves if we want people to invest their time and their value and their wisdom back to us. Nothing wrong with that. I encourage you guys to do it. If you know that there are people out there who are successful in something that you are aspiring to do or aspiring to become, then reach out to them. See if they will be willing to mentor you or to teach you. And 9 times out of 10, they are. It might not be free. It may cost you to receive value from them that, one, you don't have, one that they have, that you've seen them work out, and it produces for them the fruit that you wish to see in your life. You don't want to end up where we ended up, and that is not being able to finish something that we started. But when we stopped, it wasn't really voluntarily, but when we got to a point where we were just overwhelmed with debt, overwhelmed with trying to figure out how are we going to get out of this so that we can move forward and really pursue the goal of early retirement, really pursue the goal of being real estate investors, we had to start over. We had to start over, and we had to learn how to count the cost. Again, we had the right goal, we had the right ambition, but the method that we were going about it, which was accumulating a lot of debt, left us defenseless. It left us vulnerable. It left us in a situation that really caused us to pause and think about, like, we can't move forward until we get unstuck. We get unstuck. We get from under the burden of this debt that's causing us to not move forward. So I'm going to end this video with this. Don't be afraid to share the mistakes that you have learned from. Mistakes happen. Nobody's perfect. Again, we've all made mistakes. But there's something that you have experienced that could be of benefit to someone else. I'm not saying put all your business out there. I'm saying be wise. Know what to share. Know how much to share. Know to whom to share it with. May not be on a public platform, but there is a place, there is a time for you to share your testimonies, to share your miracle, to share your mistakes with others so that they don't make the same mistakes that you have. Don't be selfish. Help people to move forward, and watch, there will be others there to help you do the same. That's all.